in the conversation. What go on, Jody? All right, so here we are for another feature in the series Paws and Pals. And we've been having loads of fun learning about our animals, how to take care of them, how to feed them right, and the various things that we need to be aware of. And it's just been a beautiful ride. So, and I noticed too that you guys have been active. Yeah, you've been like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And you're asking the questions. We are loving that. And if there is an animal that you have that you may think, oh, this is a unique animal and I won't get much, listen, we want to hear from you. Yes, we want to hear from you. So we'll read all of the WhatsApp messages coming in. So let's go to the intro and see what we can learn as we begin the journey. We're waiting on our friends from the JSPCA. And let me know if we're going to connect with them on the phone. All right. So welcome, yes, to another episode of Paws and Pals. And today we're looking at one of the furry friends, hamsters. Oh, yeah. A lot of children tend to love having them as pets. And we're going to be hearing from the Jamaica Society of, okay, let me get it right. The Jamaica Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, JSPCA. Now, what is it about, as we wait to connect with them, what is it about a hamster? There are several different breeds and varieties of hamsters, varying in size and temperament. Typically, hamsters live for up to 2 years, although some may live for longer. Hamsters are often a child's first pet. However, their needs are actually very complex and they can be easily injured by incautious handling. So we have to get to understand hamsters' needs, all right? All right, so there is one perfect way to care for all hamsters because every hamster and every situation is different. And you could say that every pet is different, right? So it is up to you to know how. Vicky says, I only need a fish as a pet. Vicky, you're not going down there. But let me tell you, wait until we do fish. Now, JSPCA, they don't look after, they don't cover fish, but we're going to get some info. We're going to get somebody to talk with us about taking care of fish because it's a lot of work too. Do you have a fish already, Vicky? Do you have a pet fish already? I've had a couple, so I could talk about that. All right. I can't read over there and over here. Okay. So there's no one perfect way to care for a hamster. All right, because every hamster, every situation is different. And it is up to you to know how to look after the hamster, but you must take reasonable steps to ensure that you meet all their needs. So, bedding material. What is that? It's used to describe the material or the substrate that is used to cover the bottom of the cage. So when you have the cage, you have to cover the bottom of the cage and prepare for this pet, right? Nesting material is used to describe the material provided in addition to bedding material, which is given to the hamsters for nest building and nesting behavior. So because you have them in a cage, you have to give them the material that they will need to build because it's in their nature to build these little nesting areas and bedding areas, right? Marcia says, I only need a dog for my pet. Okay. Did you get the program about taking care of your dog? And even if you think you have all the information, Marcia, trust me, I learned some new things on that program. So look for it and watch it. Watch it. All right. Look for it on our YouTube channel or on Love FM's Facebook page. Now, hamsters belong to the family of, I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but there are 24 different species, right? Among the most popular kept as pets are the Syrian, the Russian dwarf Campbell, and the Roborovsky. Now, hamsters enjoy exploring. Hamsters use their whiskers or vibrissae to aid detection of objects to explore their environment. A hamster's teeth never stops growing. Huh? Hamsters' incisors never stop growing, and they have a self sharpening system where the incisors grind against each other while gnawing, which wears the teeth down. Oh, so that's why they don't look like a vampire after a while. Hamsters are nocturnal. They have large eyes and a retina dominated by rods, the part of the eye that can function in less intense light. Not all hamsters are sociable. In the wild, Syrian hamster adults generally inhabit lone burrows. Other species, such as the Russian dwarf, naturally live in groups. So, because I don't have all the answers, I am going to get the answers I need for and get some help from Dr. Shakiria Hemmings. And Dr. Shakiria Hemmings is is Shakira Hemmings, and the JSPCA's mission is to promote animal rights and investigate cases related to mistreatment of animals. So, Dr. Hemmings, it's so good to have you this morning. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm great. And you?
I am doing good. I'm excited. I was trying to read up some things about hamster care, but I think you would do a better job. So we want to invite persons to ask your questions. If you have any questions about hamsters, feel free to ask. We're gonna go through now. First of all, are hamsters rats?
No, they're not rats. However, they are from the same order. So they both are rodents. Um, so what rodents are is that, or what distinguishes rodents from other animals is that they have two incisors at the
Mhm.
on the top jaw and on the bottom jaw.
I was gonna
So
ask if they're vampires then.
no, not at all, not at all. So
Right.
hamsters are smaller than rats. They
Okay.
tend to grow.
Really?
They tend to be about 18 centimeters in length, and
Hmm.
rats tend to be a lot bigger, about 46 to
They
50
can get bigger,
centimeters.
right? Ah, okay. Okay. So what should I look for when I'm buying a hamster in terms of the type of hamster?
Type of hamster, right? So, in most pet shops, they have the Syrian breed of hamster.
Right.
I think they kind of have the dwarf because you have different breeds. So the dwarf breed and the Syrian breeds are what you regularly find in the pet shops. And
Yes.
the what you're looking for actually, you want to start off by getting a young hamster because bearing in mind that
Okay.
the lifespan of a hamster is only 2 to 3 years. So you want to get the maximum
Oh,
time out of the hamster that you can.
right.
You want to look for a hamster that is healthy, one that is vibrant, moving up and down in the cage. You
Okay.
also want to look at the body condition of the hamster. Make sure that the hamster isn't too fat, isn't too skinny, You want to look for any alopecia, that is any bare patches on the hamster.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
yes. Because that's an indication of any disease that may be
okay.
going on with the hamster. So you definitely want to look for that. You'd also want to look for any evidence of diarrhea. So how
Oh,
you would know that your hamster is having diarrhea is, you look at the rear end. If there is any wetting
right.
around the back, then that is a indicator of diarrhea. You wouldn't want to be taking home a sick hamster.
Okay. All right. Wow. That's a lot though. But I notice it says that a lot of children, parents give children a hamster for their first pet. Is that good? Why?
I think it's quite a bit of responsibility,
Yeah.
because you have to feed your hamster, you have to clean the cages regularly,
Well, I guess
interact with the
it's
hamster.
teaching. It's a what?
You have to interact with the hamster regularly.
Interact. So I
So
guess it's a good tool to teach children how
definitely.
to clean up your room because you have to clean up the cage and how to talk because you have to interact with it, and that sort of a thing. I guess they're tools. These are valuable tools. Is it good to get the hamsters in pairs, or is it better to have like one single hamster?
All right. So it depends on the breed that you get. So if you're getting a Syrian hamster, the they tend to be better when they're separated. The
Oh,
females tend to be a bit more aggressive,
is
so you'd
it?
want to, right. They're more aggressive than the male, so you'd want to keep them
Okay.
separate. As well as they tend to be more stressed when they are together. So if you can separate them, then that would be
Hmm.
the better option. If you're
Okay.
getting a dwarf, if you find that you're getting a dwarf hamster, those often do better together than the Syrians.
So it depends on the breed that
Depends
you're
on the
getting.
breed.
Why are they stressed when they're together?
Because the females. You have more hamsters occupying a particular space, and
Hmm.
it's
Fighting for
it's
space.
fighting for space, fighting for food. Especially the females they tend to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of competition, and you don't really want them to be competing for things.
Right. Right. What is the ideal hamster habitat?
All right. So hamsters, they generally in the wild they live on
Well,
dry, rocky.
one of our listeners, Vicky, says all hamsters are stressed. We're going to talk about the bright side. I really like what you said before you talk about the habitat. I really like what you said for in terms of children because it's helping to teach the child the habit of cleaning and fixing up and looking after someone other than yourself, being responsible. You're teaching them values when you have that. Awesome.
Definitely.
Let's go back to the habitat. Let's leave Vicky alone. Yeah, so the habitat.
All right, so in the wild, the hamsters generally live on dry, rocky grasslands, and they like to burrow. So they like to dig around. So if it is that you can get a large enclosure, that would be good. The bigger the better. Um, you can actually get some deep bedding for them
Mhm,
to burrow in.
mhm.
You'd want to have, enrichment things. So you don't want the hamster to be too bored inside.
Right.
So enriching, so just like how, or enrichment for us would be like TV. The
Oh
hamsters would
yes.
need a little
HGTV,
entertainment,
yes.
the hamster wheel, your ball, your ropes, little wooden furniture inside. That would be good enrichment for them. In terms of the bedding, you
Okay.
can get aspen bedding or the pied wood shavings at your local pet store, or you can get the multicolored animal bedding for them.
Oh, multicolored, why not plain? Does it
You can get
matter?
the plain one as well.
Okay.
You can get the
Okay.
plain one as well.
Okay. And how do you prepare your home? Does it matter? Because they'll be in a cage. Do I have to think about preparing my home?
Yes, they're actually good escape artists. So yes, they are. They definitely are.
Making
So
me
you
going down,
you
They sound
have
like stress.
yes, ma'am.
I
So
can't
you
imagine
have
you
to
sleep on this hamster come. Oh my God. Oh
so you
wow.
have to ensure that the cage that you're getting also has, that
Proper luck.
every proper lock and key everywhere is sealed up. You don't have any like loose wires or anything.
Yes. Yes.
You can select a cool room because heat is
Okay.
especially now in the summer months. It's
Yes.
a bit hotter.
It is a problem
We
for
want
all
to
of us.
ensure that everybody stresses us all out. Stresses out the
Okay.
hamsters too.
Yes. Oh
So you
my
want to
goodness.
choose a nice cool room. You can remove any dangerous obstacles that would prevent them from moving around.
Mhm.
Cats and dogs, if you can prevent them from getting into the room, because they'll surely have them for a snack.
Wow. Okay, noted. Dr. Hemmings talking with us about the care for hamsters. All right. Somebody here says, Auntie, I can't wait for the rabbits. All right. So, can you train a hamster? And is it okay to hold them in your hand? Because I see videos with them and they hold them and pet them.
You
And
call them, yes. In fact,
do you have a
when
hamster
you
there?
we do have a hamster, but because they sleep mostly during the day, we wouldn't want to
Oh,
disturb them. So,
oh,
when you
don't wake
actually
me.
get right, they usually sleep mostly in the day. So when you
Uh-huh.
get a hamster, you'd want to do most of your interactions in the evening.
In the evening.
Right. So
Okay.
that's a point to know.
That's a good point. Yes.
Um,
Can
so
they be trained?
interestingly enough, the baby hamsters,
Mhm.
you wouldn't want to get.
All right, talking with Dr.
So we
Shakira
actually have
Hemming.
one hamster here. He's actually awake. Can you put him
Oh,
on?
hello. Let me bring you up, big solo. Yes. Oh, it's so cute. So that's a baby hamster?
No, this is an adult. This is the mommy.
Oh, oh. Oh, does he have a name or she?
So you
Sorry.
wouldn't want to. So you wouldn't want to hold the baby hamsters. If you notice that mommy has had babies, I wouldn't encourage you to touch the babies at all. If you see
Oh.
the babies, just leave them because that can
Okay.
actually encourage her to eat them. That's one of the factors, or one
How
factor.
come and why? Why? Because you're holding the baby
Sorry?
hamster. You're holding the baby hamster
No,
since.
no, no. This is an adult. This is the mommy hamster.
No, but what I'm asking is, you said that
This is
if the adult hamster sees a human holding a baby hamster, she would eat the baby hamster. Is that what you said?
yes,
Why?
yes, she would.
Why?
It's just one of those. She can reject the babies if you really mess with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so just leave them be. But is that the same for cats
So
and dogs?
not some dogs actually reject their babies. So
If you
I
hold the
tend to
baby,
leave.
okay,
Right. So
okay, that's what it is.
so this hamster is getting a little fussy.
All right, put her down there. We don't want her to start stress you out. Oh my goodness. Talking with Dr. Hemmings at the JSPCA. I'm really, really enjoying this time and learning so much. And we have a few more questions yet to go. I can't give enough question. This is many questions. All right, you're tuned to Love 101, the family station, and this is Paws and Pals. I'm so loving this and enjoying the, learning how to take care of the various animals. What's a good meal plan for a hamster? What should they eat? What shouldn't they eat? What should they drink? What shouldn't they drink?
All right, so hamsters are omnivores. So that means that they eat, fruits, vegetables, as well as meat.
Oh,
So proteins you can get your eggs. So usually the egg whites, chicken. If you can have the chicken breast, boiled is
is high
fine.
maintenance animal them?
Yes. So a nice, well balanced diet. So in terms of carbohydrates, you can
Yes.
actually have cooked pasta, cooked rice,
Mhm.
dried. You can have cooked potato, sweet potato, dark green leafy vegetables. So your pak choi, your callaloo, the kale, cucumber,
Really?
celery, pumpkin. Sorry. Yes,
This
man.
is
So
this
nice,
is high maintenance
well
something you're
balanced meal.
talking about.
High maintenance,
I
high
love it. Oh
maintenance.
my
And even
goodness.
for the water, I'd recommend you don't give them the tap water, the chlorinated water.
Mhm.
Give them
Mhm.
bottled water if you can.
I
So
tell you,
very high
no,
maintenance indeed.
no tap water,
All right.
bottled water.
No tap water, bottled water.
Wow.
So for fruits, I mean fruits because they're more sweet. I'd recommend that you give. You don't give them every day, but you can give them maybe 3 times a week. You can give them, the fruits that are in season: mango,
Mhm.
papaya, bananas. I wouldn't recommend the acidic ones such as the
No.
pineapple and the
Pineapple.
oranges.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Lots of grains as well, oats. Um, and
No, sir.
sunflower seeds can be, and flax seeds. So you have a
Oh,
wide variety of things that you can actually give hamsters.
right.
Things to stay away from though,
Mm-hmm.
anything that is high in salt or spices. So
Okay.
no curry chicken, no jerk chicken,
Okay.
nothing with onion and garlic.
And back we're back to
Chocolate.
the onion too. So we have to be careful. Pet
Have to be
owners have to be careful, yes. Because I've heard that with the dogs too, the onions and those things you have to be careful with that.
definitely. So we don't want to
Okay.
give them any of those
Here,
chocolate as well.
somebody said I can't afford a hamster.
I
It's
mean, the
high
good thing about
maintenance.
it is that they're small,
Yes,
so it's not a not a big human sized portion. So it's just
yes.
bits,
Just as
very
bits.
small
Okay.
bits
So
of
once you cook for
each
them
food group.
Sunday, you can give them reheated food. Do they take their food cold or hot? Because I had a cat once and you could not give the cat cold milk or even room temperature. You have to heat that up
Cold
and then
food.
give the cat. Cat be like, is who you're giving this? So does it matter?
I mean, room temperature is fine if it is a cooked. If it is something that
Right.
is cooked, you can wait until it's cool and then you can
Cool. And
offer it
then,
to your house.
yes. All right. We're just about out of time, and I really want to just wrap up, but talk about some of these things. Common health issues, things that you can look for. How do you know when the animal is when a hamster is getting, sick and need to take them down to JSPCA or a vet office?
All right. So things to look for if your hamster is usually active, so a decrease in energy, you usually see a decrease
Mhm,
in energy. Maybe the
mhm.
hamster may not be eating. Some common conditions is that you'd have the diarrhea, that I explained before. You'd have the wetting of the tail. You can see
Right.
alopecia. So alopecia
And you
is
mentioned that,
basically
yeah.
bare bald spots, um,
Hmm.
and wounds. Wounds is actually a serious thing in all animals, especially in Jamaica where you have screwworm. flies.
Right.
So any
Okay.
wound should be looked after promptly
Properly and
to actually
promptly, or
prevent,
else
right, to
JSPCA
prevent.
will come after you. All right, we're gonna wrap. But one thing, do you have stray hamsters? You know, like how you have stray dogs?
We don't have the
No.
stray hamsters like that. No,
Okay.
at
And
all.
just
No, we don't have stray hamsters.
you walk the dogs. I know that hamsters usually have that ring thing that you put them in and they keep walking on it to
So
exercise.
anything enriching, you can actually take out your hamster maybe for 5 minutes a day just to interact with it. That is
Right,
a part of enrichment as well.
right.
Any wooden furniture in the enclosure, such as your little wheel, your balls, you can get wooden ladders, anything wooden in the pet shop, as
Mm-hmm.
well as I find that the bigger bird toys can be used as well. In
Okay.
For example, the ropes. You don't want to get any plastic, so the ropes are fine, and any wooden toys.
Toys. Okay. Well, Doc, thank you so much for sharing with us today. I learned a lot about hamsters. We're talking with Dr. Shakira. Is it Shakira or Shakiria?
Shakira.
Okay, Shakira Hemmings from the Jamaica Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. And of course, want to thank Jody Ann Small and the TG Edwards, our producers. And of course, you can visit the JSPCA to adopt an animal or to check for, do a checkup. Um, make sure that the animal, if the animal is not well, you can take them there to do a checkup as well. Thank you so much to Dr. Hemmings, um, the mission, right? The Dr. Hemmings, who attained. Okay, okay. Um, just a minute, please. All right, sorry about that. Dr. Hemmings is a graduate of the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine School of Veterinary Medicine, and she has over 4 years of experience in exotic animal care and rehabilitation, as well as small animal medicine. She's currently an associate veterinarian at the JSPCA. And of course, you can hop over to their Facebook page, YouTube channel to see the action. Thank you so much, Dr. Hemmings, and all the very best.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. All right. Well, I hope you learned a lot today about taking care of animals, taking care of hamsters. This has been Paws and Pals on Love 101.